Hello and welcome, everybody. I am super excited to bring this all together and show you how you can create more sales in 2023. I am going to share my screen, so I'm not going to be able to see the chat whilst I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat with you. If you've got any like burning questions, then you can put them in the chat and I will answer, or you can just keep on to them until the end and I will answer all of the questions at the end. Can everyone see my screen? Can someone give me a thumbs up? Yeah, Fiona's nodding her head. I can see that. Fabulous. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for joining in with the last 3 days. You've been absolutely awesome. I've sort of thrown everything at you because we only had 3 days, but oh my gosh, what amazing results you have all had. Now I've got my notes over here, so if I look over here, that's the reason for why. Now, I'm only going to be doing this presentation for 40 minutes because I know you've all got precious time, but I promise at the end, because loads of people have asked me like, how can I work with you more, Charlie? I need your help. I will talk about that at the end of this masterclass. And then right at the very end, I'm going to be announcing the winners as well. So just so you know what's happening. But the first thing that I just wanted to say to you is, firstly, well done for being here, for showing up on this Wednesday night, for doing all the tasks or getting involved with them as much as you felt that you could, and for being exactly where you are right now. And I'm here to tell you where you are right now is exactly where you should be. You are in the perfect place. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. That's the biggest learning that I've had from being in these amazing communities. Don't compare yourself to anyone else because you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And people often say to me, oh, but you're really good at sales. You're really confident. You know what you're doing. Hear me when I say that has not always been the way. I told you my story about how I started with 7 children in my little theatre school, and I did not have a clue. I did not have a clue how to sell. But what I have done is committed myself to being the best salesperson that I could possibly be. And I have learned so much along the way, and I will continue to learn more and grow and get better, and we all will. So where you are now is exactly where you should be. Remember when you didn't have a business? Remember when like setting up a business was a wild dream and people were like, no, you're not going to set up a business. Well, you did it and you're awesome. And now you're here learning how to make sales. So celebrate that, because that is amazing. And I don't see enough people doing that. I see more people beating themselves up that they aren't where they should be yet, or they're not as far as Sheila down the road, but you are exactly where you should be. So know that sales hasn't always been easy for me, but I have been on such a huge journey with the sales in my business. And I didn't dream that I would have even done all of the things that I have done. I remember, even if I just look back to the beginning of 2022, so many things seemed out of reach for me. I ran my first event at the end of 2021. Obviously, I set up this business in COVID, so events weren't really happening. Here I am, my first ever event. And then I set out this intention at the beginning of 2022 that I would speak on stages. I didn't have a clue how I was going to do that, but I just knew that I wanted to. And 2022 saw me speaking on 7 different stages. And here I am in Dubai. This is the story that I told this morning. In Dubai, speaking on a stage. Also, the 6th of September last year, I launched my first book, Sales is Easy If You Just Know How, and it flew straight to Amazon bestseller. I also partnered with Lisa Johnson and became the #1 affiliate for her in the biggest affiliate launch in the UK. There I am at my book launch, another book launch picture. And also the Entrepreneurs Growth Club podcast, which is in the top 25 business podcasts Again, I launched this in lockdown. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just thought it would be fun to do a podcast. And I figured everything out along the way, just like I figured out my sales along the way as well. So know that if you nail your sales, you can go from where you are now to where you want to be in a very short amount of time, because sales is the driving force behind your business. So if I can do it, I'm exactly the same as you. So you can do it too. There you go. You are exactly where you need to be. And I'm celebrating you tonight. Also, if this is your first ever masterclass or time seeing me speak, just know that I do go off on a tangent and I need to bring myself back to it, and B, forget to move my slides on all of the time. So I apologize in advance for that, but hey, at least I'm honest. There we go. I've already mentioned that because I get excited and I get ahead of myself. So we started this challenge by thinking about our financial targets. How much money do you want to make this year? And back in 2020, when I set up Charlie Day Sales, this was a side hustle. I was head of sales for Phonics with Robot Reg, which was my previous company that I ran with my sister. And so I didn't have massive financial goals, but I just wanted to see if I could monetize this community that I had created. So in 2020, I took £24,000 just as my side hustle, just as something that I was doing on the side. And please note that I'm not telling you these figures to brag. I'm just telling you this so that you can realize that anything is possible for you as well. So I only started in March as well. So my first year was actually only 10 months long. And the first 2 months of running the business, I took no money whatsoever. So that was in 8 months. Then in 2021, that was my first full year. And I went into 6 figures within the first 12 months, but I took £125,000 in the first full year. And then last year, I jumped up to £350,000. And that is because I left the other job and I made this my full focus. And what I teach my clients to do is, once you have got a sales strategy that works, you just concentrate that down and streamline it. And so because this business had sort of taken over my life and I had so much passion for what I was doing and I wanted to do more of it, I stepped aside from Phonics with Robot Reg, plus they didn't really need me anymore because they were smashing it. And I really focused and concentrated on this business. And that's where I saw a huge amount of growth. And so I'm going to teach you that process of how to create a perfect sales strategy, so that once you've nailed all of the different parts of my perfect sales strategy, you can focus and concentrate down in the key areas that you need to look at so that you can have a massive growth in your sales. So here we are. This is my perfect sales strategy. And I want you to have a think and be really honest with yourself about what parts of this you feel like you're lacking, or you could even score yourself out of 10. How well are you doing each of these things? And then it will show you which areas you need to focus and concentrate on. So P, my perfect P, is for problems. And we've spoken about this a lot over the last 3 days because it's hugely important. When I'm talking about your sales funnel and pulling people in, until your messaging is right, you are not going to be pulling those people in as strongly. So problems. Identify your ideal client's biggest problems. If you know what is keeping your ideal client awake at night, you're going to be able to sell to them a lot quicker. We pay people on how quickly they can solve our problems. There's a huge misconception that we actually pay people for their time. We don't. I remember I got locked out of my house and I called a locksmith and he charged me £500 to come out on a Sunday. And it was literally a 30-second job for him because he knew exactly what he was doing. And so he solved my problem, massively solved my problem. And so therefore I paid him the money. So how can you show your ideal clients that you are going to be able to solve their problem, and therefore buying from you is a no-brainer? Now, this doesn't need to be big, life-changing problems. It might be that you're a gifting company and your gifts are easy to buy and you add a personal touch. It doesn't have to be life-changing, but you absolutely need to be identifying those big problems. The first E in perfect is for engage. Once we have understood what our ideal client's biggest problems are, and we know who our ideal client is, we're going to go after them and we're going to try and engage them in a conversation. Now, we cannot engage them until we've got that messaging right. And that's sometimes why it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall and it's falling off. You're not getting any engagement on your post because that messaging isn't hitting, which is what I was saying today. If you have not got any likes or comments or whatever, then we need to go back a step and look at the messaging. But once we've nailed that messaging, let's engage your ideal client. Let's draw them into a conversation. Sales in its simplest form, conversation equals sales. The more conversations you have, the more sales you'll make. It's as simple as that. And then once we have understood our ideal client, we've solved their problems, we're engaging them, we're getting them into conversation, we need to reach more of them. How can we reach more of our ideal client? Where do they hang out? We've got to get our current clients and then go out and reach them more. And the best way to do this, and this is why the Entrepreneurs Growth Club has grown so much, is because these people, the 250 people that I started with, went out and they shouted about it and said, oh my gosh, you need to join this group. And then suddenly we had 500 and then we had 1,000 and it multiplied like that. So the best way to do this is by creating raving fans who shout about us time and time again. Same thing happened with Phonics. We had a real core audience of people who loved us and they went out and they shouted about us. But you've got to nail your ideal client and your messaging to get that sort of community where they then go out and shout about you. So the R is for reach. How can we reach more people? The F, you know it, guys. It's my favorite. Follow up. Follow up like your life depends on it. If you think about your sales funnel here, we're drawing people in. It's costing us one of two things to draw people into the top of our sales funnel. It either costs us time or money. So once somebody is in our sales funnel, we would be foolish to let them go. We would be foolish not to chase them up, not to keep having conversations with them, not to make sure that they stayed in our sales funnel. And remember, a no just means not right now. So we might go back to old leads and follow up with them further down the line as well. So F for follow up. The E is for energy. Sales is an exchange of energy. You need to use your energy in the right way to build up relationships, to nurture relationships, to follow people up, to close people down, and to make the sale. I see so many people using their energy to tell themselves how terrible they are, to tell themselves they're not good enough at sales, to bitch about how things aren't going well for them. It's such a bad use of your energy. We've only got so much energy, so make sure you are using yours in the right way. And don't let anybody interfere with that. C is for conversion. Again, we have talked about this today. Conversion is absolutely what we need to have our eye on if we are going to make the same sales time and time again. So we want to replicate the same activity time and time again. And then the T stands for then add more. What can you be doing that other people aren't? How can you go over and above? And there's two things on here that I think will separate you from the crowd. In fact, they all will, but the two ones I want to highlight to you is follow up and then add more. If you are doing those two things, you're going to be separating yourself from the crowd. Because anybody can follow up, but hardly anybody does. I want you to think about the amount of people you buy from and the amount of people who actually follow up with you. So if you're the person who's prepared to do it, if you're the person who's prepared to go the extra mile, you're the person who is gonna stand out from the crowd. And that, as a salesperson, is exactly what we want. So that is my perfect sales method. P for problems, E for engage, R for reach, F for follow-up, E for energy, C for conversion, and T for then add more. And if you can get these things all working in synergy, I promise you those sales are going to flood in the perfect amount, and you'll have this circular thing where you get leads in, you nurture the relationship, you follow up, you close them down, they come out the other end, and at the same time, this is all going on. So as leads come in, you're nurturing other leads, you're closing other leads down, you're selling to other leads, and then you're delivering to those leads. Oh, here we go. Perfect example of Charlie not adding the slides on. Quick recap for you all. P, problems. Messaging is key. It's the first step in your sales process. Make it as simple as you possibly can. That is super important. No waffle. E, engage your ideal client, grab their attention, and start having conversations with them. If we want to multiply our sales, we need to reach more people. Follow up. I'm obsessed with follow-up, guys. I'm obsessed. Sales is energy. Protect your energy and create more of it on a daily basis. Conversion, then add more. Sales is the thing that is going to move this ship forward. So if you are not spending 80% of your efforts in the sales in your business, then you are not going to be reaching the amount of people that you can. I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, if you want to grow and scale your business, sales is the most important thing. And I wanted you to think about this. What are your leading metrics and how can you measure this? So I've spoken a lot about looking at those conversion rates, but there are so many other things that we can measure. And if you look at your customer's buying journey, what key activities do you do that can create more sales? So I'm going to go through mine in a minute, but one of them is obviously follow up. I do it for half an hour a day, every single day. And I run out of people to follow up. I don't have that many leads. I'm not, not a miracle worker, guys. I'm a sales expert. So I have to go out and do some personal outreach as part of that, but it challenges me. I'm like, yes, I need to find more people. Where can I find them? And so that has become a leading metric for me. How many people can I find in my half an hour of follow-up? And I literally do a tally chart just in my notebook. How many people can I reach in that half an hour? And I almost have a little competition with myself. I know. I need to get a serious life. I know, but I do. I can't lie to you. It's what happens. So what is that for you? Is it inquiries coming in? Is it website clicks? Is it your audience growing? Is it discovery calls? Conversions in your DMs? It could be any of those things. It could be a combination of those things. What I see too many people doing is, once I get to 10,000 followers, the sales are just going to come flooding in. I can feel it. If only my email list had more people, I would make more sales. No. That's just not true. If you don't have a sales strategy, it doesn't matter how many hundreds of thousands of people follow you. I've worked with loads of people who have massive audiences who are making no sales whatsoever. So what are your leading metrics and how can you measure this? And again, I get meticulous on my follow-up because over the last 3 years, I have realized that is the number one thing that creates more sales for me. Digging into that detail. I used to do it once a week. Now I do it every single day. Digging into the detail of those leading metrics will increase your sales. So what is that for you? And then the other thing that I measure is chasing meaningful interactions. So how can you tell if you're doing the right thing in terms of creating more sales? Well, I've told you that in its very simplest form, conversation equals sales. So I make sure that I'm having quality conversations with the intention of selling and chasing meaningful interactions every single day. So what do I mean by quality conversations? Now, as a sales expert, it's really important for me that you understand that I do not mean cold messaging. I don't mean cold messaging. It doesn't work. I hate it. I think it's terrible. I would never do it. So I don't mean cold messaging ever. I don't mean sleazy messaging ever. What I mean is meaningful interaction, like really reaching out to people, starting with people who are in your community, right? So I talk about 3 circles. There's 3 circles of opportunity. You've got this circle here, which is all the people who already know about you. They're people in your community. They're people who follow you. They're people who are really engaged. And they're a really great circle to start with this meaningful interaction. Now, there's another group of people over here, and it's a bigger group, and they're people who know about you, but they're not in your community. They're not engaging with your stuff. Maybe they're lurking around. They're not in it. And so whilst these people, they're like hot leads, warm, hot leads. These ones, they're tepid leads. So we've got to talk to them very differently to how we talk to these people. And then we've got the biggest circle of opportunity. I don't know why it's behind me, but it just makes sense. The biggest circle of opportunity over here, they're all the people who don't even know about you yet. They're cold. They're cold leads. They don't know about you, but there's hundreds of them, thousands, millions. It's a huge amount of them. And there are 3 circles of opportunity. So if you think about where you are now with the customer basis that you have got, like take me, for example, I've got 7,000 people in my audience. I'm like, wow, 7,000 people know me. That is insane to me. I can't get my tiny little brain around the fact that 7,000 people would join a Facebook group that I started. Like, honestly, crazy. But then you think about the world. Like, this circle of opportunity is massive. Absolutely huge. So with that in mind, you can see how we could all be having conversations every single day, starting with this circle, moving out to our tepid leads and reaching these cold leads and bringing them into the tepid leads. And imagine if you were doing 10 per day. If you were chasing 10 meaningful conversations every single day, that would be 50 per week, 200 per month, 2,400 per year. Now, I reckon I have more than 10 a day, but I wanted to keep the numbers small because I didn't want to freak anyone out. Didn't want my numbers on the Zoom to go plummeting. Like, I'm not doing that. She's got me to do some crazy stuff, but I am not doing that. How many extra sales would that bring for you? Just by having conversations, just by reaching out to people in a meaningful, caring way. I have this thing written above my desk, which is give more than you take. And that's what I strive to do every single day. And that's what I focus on. And, you know, I hope you can tell by these 3 days, I absolutely freaking love what I do. I literally jump out of bed in the morning and cannot wait to get started. And I think, you know, when I started on this path, I was doing half franchising. I was talking a lot about franchising and a lot about sales. And I ended up doing sales because it's what lit me up. It's what was important to me. And I think if you love what you do and you go after what is the most important thing to you, the sales will come. So think about that when you're setting up these conversations. Like, have meaningful conversations where you really care and you're really interested, and the sales will come anyway. I'm going to drink. So what do we need to be doing in 2023? I think things have changed slightly from 2021, 2022 to 2023. So I thought I would address it. I think we need to be making more content than ever before. I've spoken a lot about content in the last couple of days because I think it's super important. If we're going to get our message out there, social media is the place to do it. Now, there is still a place for word of mouth, for guerrilla marketing, for all those old school things, which I absolutely love. But if you are not creating content every single day, then you're going to be left behind. So you've got to make sure that you're making more content than ever before. Also, make it as easy as possible to buy from you. And this is a really great exercise as well, to go back over your stuff and see, like, how easy is it to buy from me? Give our customers the best experience. I think our customers are savvier than they ever have been. They're really aware of what they're buying. They dig into the detail. So we have to make sure that we're giving our customers the best experience possible. And with that in mind, I think that honesty and integrity will lead in 2023. So they're my thoughts for 2023. And here is a checklist of what I think you need to succeed in 2023. A list of 10 goals. As you know, I'm a huge goal setter. I write down 10 goals every single day. They keep me on track. They keep me moving forward. And that has been a game changer for me over the last 3 years as well. A sales plan. We all wrote a sales plan and we supercharged it. So you've definitely got that. A sales strategy. So that's my perfect sales method and all of those steps, thinking about your customer journey and how easy it is to buy from you as well. And a content plan. This is a new one for me. Haven't exactly been the most planned with my content previously. Again, I'm honest. Audrey keeps me in check with my content, but we have upped our game and we're taking it. Well, Audrey's always taken it seriously. I am taking it much more seriously than I ever have before, because I can see that content is going to lead in 2023. And I don't want to just be throwing spaghetti at the wall. I want to have a very clear plan, and I want to be in control of what I'm putting out there and be very mindful about that. Now for a bit of tough love. Charlie, tough love doesn't come out very much. I'm a people pleaser, so I don't like tough love. Don't like to receive it, don't like to give it, but sometimes it is necessary. It is really easy to make excuses. And I spoke about this morning, you know, when I did the welcome party, everyone turns up and they're like, yeah, super excited. Woo, let's do it. And then, you know, the first task, like, yeah, let's get behind the numbers. That's fun. Let's see what's possible. And then slowly the numbers start to drop off because it gets hard. Like I say, sales is easy. The stuff that you have to do is easy, but doing it day in, day out gets a little bit boring, And it's so easy to make excuses. It is far easier to make excuses than it is to commit yourself 100% and say, I'm going to do it no matter what. It will get hard along the way. I'm going to get no's and I'll probably fail. But I am committing myself 100% to this, and I will find a way to make it work. So which camp are you going to be in? Are you going to be making excuses for why your sales aren't working? Or are you going to just fully commit 100% to figuring it out, even when it gets hard, especially when it gets hard? It's much harder to hold yourself accountable. So I 100% recommend getting somebody else to do it for you. Accountability in sales is like 50% of it, because we can sit here and say that we're going to do the things. We can sit here and say that we're going to follow up, but will we actually do it? And this happens to me, right? I think, oh God, I don't want to message that person back. And I'm like, why? I mean, they want to buy from you. What's wrong? And like, I literally have these conversations in my head. What's wrong with you, Charlie? Like, why don't you want to buy? And then I'm like, well, of course you don't want to message them back, because there's a chance that they'll say no, and you don't want to hear that no. And that's why you don't want to message them back. And then I'm like, no, but I'm a sales coach. You will message them back. Go and message them back right now. And I have this often in my head. And and this is why I do half an hour a day. Sometimes I don't want to do my follow-up, and I do it from 9 till 9:30 every single day. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. No, you've got to do it. You've committed. You're 100% fully committed. Come on, Charlie, you can do it. No, I don't want to, please. And eventually I get on with it. But as soon as I've made that commitment to doing it, I'm fine. Once I'm in it, I'm fine. So you've just got to make that commitment to, I am doing this, because you get to choose at the end of the day if you choose the easy path or the hard path. It's up to you. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted you to supercharge your sales plan, because you get to decide at the end of the day. You know, we need to be realistic about how much time we've got. And, you know, if we've got a newborn baby or about to move house or all of those things, of course, they are factors. but you get to choose how many sales you make this year. You are completely in control. And for me, that's the most exciting thing. You get to decide, but you're going to have to fully commit and say, like, I am 100% doing this. And I see so many people go to launch something, and then if they don't make any sales within the first day, pull it off the shelf. Or they start talking about something, and if they don't get the reaction that they thought they would, they stop talking about it. And in reality, you've got to keep on talking about it over and over again, absolutely everywhere, and not stop. And then, if you've done that for whatever the launch period was, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it was, then afterwards, you can analyze it and think, okay, well, I spoke about it for 7 days straight. I really went all in. No one cared. Let's look at the messaging. Absolutely analyze it afterwards, but you've got to go all in. Commit, stand behind it with unwavering faith, put it out like it is the best thing since sliced bread, and then analyze afterwards. So what is working for me at the moment? Selling through direct messages and emails. Yes, it is time consuming, but people want a personal touch. They absolutely do. I spoke about this today, but encouraging that inbound inquiries, although I do a lot of personal outreach, my favorite thing to do is encouraging inbound inquiries, because if we know that people are interested, oh, someone's not on mute. Who are you? If we know that they are interested, then we're in such a good position to be able to sell. It's like we're on the front foot. Obviously, following up like my life depends on it. That is what's working for me at the moment. Creating real relationships. Oh my gosh, this is something that bugs me more than I can tell you. When someone creates a relationship with you and you buy from them, this has happened to me recently and it's the most annoying thing. Someone creates a relationship, you buy from them, and then once you've bought, they completely disappear. It's like my worst thing ever. I hate it. I create real relationships, because what happens when you create real relationships is people buy from you time and time again, and they recommend you to friends and family and social media and whatever. So creating real relationships, I don't see enough people doing that online, if I'm completely honest. So be that person. And selling without selling. When you get into this place where you're like, I would love to work with you all. I would love for you all to buy from me. But if you don't, that's okay. You might down the line. You might next year. You might never. Either way, it's fine. When you get to that place, you're just positioning what you're offering. This is what I've got to offer. If it works for you, if you think that would be great, if you're ready to commit to your sales, then I'm here for it. But I'm never going to be pushy or sleazy or, oh, I only answer to the people in my top mastermind and I don't talk to the people in my membership or whatever. No, it's not me. I just sell without selling. I build relationships. I follow people down. I care about people. I close them. I make it time-bound and compelling. But I never do that generic selling-y thing that I hate. And I think about it every day, like, what do I love? What do I love? How do I love to be sold to? And how can I make that a part of what I do? Because if I'm enjoying it, then other people will. So anything is possible for you this year. It is all up to you. And I am so excited to see you all absolutely thrive. I know that you will. I know that you can go and build on all of the things that we've spoken about over the last 3 days, and also be just a part of my amazing community. And for anybody who's not in the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, actually, because I know some people have just been added to this New Year, New Sales group, then make sure that you come into the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, because it really is the best place ever. It's the best place on the internet. Not at all biased, honestly. But yes, you are all amazing, and I know that you can do amazing things. And thank you so much for committing to this. I am obviously going to tell you how you can work with me. You would think it was weird if I didn't, because I'm a sales expert and that's what I talk about day in, day out. So I have some really, really exciting things coming up in 2023. I'm still in 2022. I'm going to tell you about 2 things that I am launching that I'm super, super excited about. So the first thing is my 6-week course, sell your way to success. If you are ready to explode your leads, you're fed up of searching for the next sale, and you want consistent sales and people talking about your business, then this is for you. We're going to be covering all the aspects of sales that are really important in this 6-week course. We're going to be looking at how much time you are spending on the sales in your business. Like I've already mentioned, I think we should all be spending 80% of our time going after the sales. Yes, there are other things that are important, but sales are the most important thing in your business, and I won't have anybody say otherwise. I honestly believe that sales is easy if you just know how, and I am here to show you how. So week 1 is all about creating the perfect pipeline. I'm back to my sales funnel arms, guys. We want a perfect pipeline of people coming in at all times. So we're going to perfect our pipeline in week 1. Week 2, we're going to do get more leads. Now, I did this for the whole month of November, and everybody who took part in my get more leads challenge in November got 100 plus leads. I helped them to find 100 leads that were out there. We're going to be doing this in 1 week. Oh, yes, we are, my friends. 1 week, we're going to find 100 leads ready to sell to. Then in week 3, I am going to teach you how to do direct sales in the DMs so that we can turn all of those leads that we found in week 2 into sales in week 3. I'm going to teach you how to close people down, how to make it time bound and compelling so that they buy from you. Of course, you knew it was going to be in there, guys. Yes, you did. I'm obviously going to teach you how to follow up with them, because if those leads come in, you have a conversation with them, you get things going in the DMs, but now is not the right time, that is absolutely fine, because we're going to be following up with them later on in the journey. And then week 6 is about selling, all of my best tips, everything that I do to ensure that as many of those leads that pass through my funnel buy from you. That's the most important thing. You'll get weekly Zoom trainings, which will be live from me, weekly workbooks to help you stay on track, a dedicated Facebook group, which is going to give you that accountability and support. And if you book within the first 48 hours, you're going to receive a complimentary ticket for Supercharge Your Sales Live, which is my event that I'm running in June, which I'm super excited about. Onto that. And everyone who books will also receive 3 months in the Entrepreneurs Sales Lounge. So if you're already in the Entrepreneurs Sales Lounge, then you'll get those 3 months reimbursed. And if you're not in it yet, then you'll be invited in. And the investment for that is £220 per month for 3 months, or the pay in full option is £649. And hopefully Audrey is going to pop the link in to the chat if you want to grab your place on that. Or perhaps you are ready to take your business to the next level. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about will not be for everybody. This is sort of my top level mastermind. So this is for people who are really serious about taking huge leaps forward in 2023. So it's my first ever 12-month mastermind, guys. I went from 6 months to 9 months, and here I am, 12 months. Grow and evolve together. It's called Evolve Your Sales, because I think that that's what happened to me in 2022. My sales evolved over the year, and my mastermind evolved with me. So that's the idea behind the name. So if you've got huge plans for 2023, a year of growth, a year of clarity, a year of sales, then this is for you. It's a group of like-minded business owners who all want to push their business to the next level. We know that we are a combination of the 5 people we hang around with. And I know from my own mastermind, it's those people who push you forward and cheer you on, who you want to surround yourself by. We're going to have a meetup each quarter to strategize, learn, and have fun. And you get a one-to-one with me to discuss the sales and growth in your business as well. You get a dedicated mindset coach to help you work through your blocks and everything to help you reach the next level. A hot seat session per month, a coaching session as a group per month, unlimited access to me via WhatsApp, a group WhatsApp chat. And I've added this today, which I'm super excited about, a dedicated PR expert who's going to help you write press releases, pitch for the press, and find press opportunities. That's something that I've been massively focusing on which has really helped me to position myself as an expert. Plus anything that I release in the next year, you will get access to as part of my mastermind. So the first two things that you're going to get access to is the Sell Your Way to Success course that I have just spoken about. And I'm also doing a challenge just for the people in my mastermind called 10K in 10 days, which I did myself in November. I've documented it all, understood how I've done it all, and I'm going to bring that together and roll it out to my mastermind, which I'm super excited about. As well as this, you're going to get a complimentary VIP ticket for Supercharge Your Sales Live, and also a place on my first ever abroad retreat in Spain in September in 2023, which I'm super excited about. So excited about everything. So my guarantee to you, we're a product of the 5 most people we spent. I've already said that, you know it. We need to surround ourselves by amazing people. I will have my eyes on your business. So I've actually upped the amount of one-to-ones that my mastermindees get, because I wanted to be more involved in their business and making sure that I was really helping to push them forward. Positive vibes only. You can imagine how flipping positive my mastermind is. It's not a space for negative Nellies. If you want to go and complain somewhere, this is not the space for you. Energy is sales. We know that. We absolutely do. So we all need to be feeding off of each other's energy in the mastermind, and that's what it's all about. So if you want to join and have me supporting you, cheering you on and guiding you through 2023, this is for you. The investment is £834 per month, or the pay in full option is £9,947. Like I say, it won't be for everybody, but if your business is at that level where you're really ready to springboard to the next level and take giant leaps forward, then this is for you. And you know, I've been asking my current mastermind for testimonials, and 3 of them wrote back to me straight away and said, if anybody wants to join the mastermind, I'll actually have a chat with them. I'll sit down on Zoom. And I thought that's just testament for the whole thing. So yes, if you want to sign up today, hopefully Audrey has put the link in. But yeah, here's what some people say. Working within a couple of days of working with Charlie, I made my money back. I had a really successful launch, which I would have chickened out of doing if it wasn't for Charlie. Sales used to make me a bit nervous, but using the techniques that Charlie taught me, I'm not scared about launching anymore. I have increased my fees to more than I have ever charged. I feel really confident about the sales in my business, and I'm really happy. I've made my money back within a month of working with Charlie, and now I have made my investment back 5 times over. Charlie helped me to implement a sales strategy that took my funnel so I could filter down my leads into sales. I highly recommend working with Charlie. And if you go on my website, there's loads of testimonials on there. Oh, of course, I nearly forgot about my competition winners. So yes, if you want to work with me, 2 options. One is my 6-week course, Sell Your Way to Success. And the second is my brand new mastermind, which they'll both be launching in February. So you have a week to decide if you want to sign up. But remember, if you sign up in the first 48 hours for the Sell Your Way to Success, you will get a complimentary ticket to Supercharge Your Sales Live. So for completing all 3 challenges for a spa trip with lunch and a side of sales strategy, the winner is Kay Bentley. Round of applause for Kay. My community champion who's getting 1 year free access to the Entrepreneurs Sales Lounge is Lindsay Becchetti. Am I saying that right? Who knows? Attending here live, we need to pick somebody. Hopefully Audrey's taken a list of notes for me. And for sharing the challenge on social media, this is for a 1-hour one-to-one strategy session with me, BVP, that's me. Thank you so much to everybody who shared and shouted about it and got involved and just was part of it. You are all amazing. Please do stay in touch, whether you're going to work with me moving forward from this point or not. Please do stay in touch, because I want to see how you all get on. But I will open it to Q&A. If anybody has any questions about anything at all, I would be more than happy to answer them. Oh, can I just say, I am in Charlie's current mastermind. It's amazing. It's so positive and supportive and has made a massive difference to my business. It's actually the second one. Yeah, it's true. She's done 2 back to back. Thank you so much for that, Leanne. That is lovely. Lovely. Yes. Thank you. So many thank yous. Thank you to all of you. You're all amazing. You're amazing. And yes, there will be a replay. There will absolutely be a replay. No worries at all. If there's no questions, then I will just go. Oh, here we go. Charlie, any advice on following up when your business is in therapy and we are advised to not contact clients, previous clients? Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if it's a sensitive subject like that, then I absolutely wouldn't recontact them. However, I would put them on a mailing list, obviously, if they agree. But what I would get meticulous about, Helen, is following up with the inquiries that don't turn into sales. So that for me is the more important metric, because the people who've already bought from you, who might buy from you again, they already know that you exist. They already know that you're out there. So that's not as important as the inquiries who haven't bought yet. So that's where I would put sort of my time and energy if I were you, if that makes sense. Lucy Piper's still putting out the positive vibes. I love that. Have you had success with companies who sell directly to schools? Hi, Joe. Well, that was me when I ran my theatre school, Little Stars, which I set up when I was 21. I sold directly into schools and it terrified me. And because I was quite young, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I came up with a whole strategy of how to sell into schools. And I then went on to teach it to my franchisees, because our franchises went into schools and nurseries as well. So yes, it is tricky dealing with schools, because you have to get past that receptionist, that gatekeeper. But that it is not impossible. It's not impossible. And I tell you, my favorite thing to do with schools, this is old school, guys. This is old school. A mail merge. Honestly, it works every single time. I used to send them like a cup of tea, like a wrapped tea bag, stapled to a letter with all the info on. And then I'd put it in like a really colourful envelope and send it to them. And you know, you could like feel like there's something in there and they'd be like, oh, what's this? And it would always get an open. And then I'd ring up. It used to say like, have a cup of tea and we'll look after the children type thing. And I would ring up and be like, oh, did you get the tea bag? And that got a really good one. But I also did another mail merge where I screwed up a piece of paper. I wrote the letter, screwed up a piece of paper, put it in the envelope. So again, it was like bulky mail. And it was like, we won't screw up the drama in your school. That went down well. Love it. I tell you, I love old school marketing. Honestly.
Just a real quick one. I've got to go.
Yeah.
I've got carers. I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For allowing me to put that post in about collaborations.
No worries at all.
I've already got somebody that I'm looking at collaborating with, and I partnered up with somebody else to collaborate to accountability.
Amazing. I'm so pleased.
Although I haven't finished the work, I'm literally 10 steps further than I was 3 days ago.
Yay! That's what it's all about. Thank you so much, Ben.
I couldn't put it in the chat because I can't. My keyboard's not
right.
working.
No,
so I just thank you. Literally, I just wanted to thank you personally.
Well, thank you for joining in.
No, I've got a dash, but we're on Facebook anyway, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, Ben. Oh yeah, so the recording will be available. I'm going to email it out, but it'll be on the sales page for these two things. So I'll email it out so everyone's got that. Do you outsource much of your business, Audrey and other professionals with certain skills, so that you can concentrate on sales? So I have Audrey and I have Sue, and then I have somebody doing my tech. So Sue with the spoons, it helps out with my membership. But that is it. And I have, sorry, I always call her Sue with the spoons, her name just stuck. I've only like in the last year really gotten like loads of help. For the first year I had nobody. The second year I had a little bit of help with my tech, and then last year that's when I I really got more help. But yeah, I think it's important if you really struggle with like one aspect of your business. So like the tech for me was just like, still is, I don't know what I'm doing. I pretend like I do, but I don't. So the tech was like a really big problem. So it used to take like a lot of my time, like trying to figure it out, but also a lot of my brain space, just like, oh my God, why won't this sales page look like what I want it to in my head? And for me, it made so much sense to outsource that to somebody else whose area of expertise it was. And so that I could focus on the stuff that I love. And I think as I grow, that will become more of a thing. But also in the beginning, you do just like, I did just have to do it all because I didn't have the budget to get help. And even with Phonics with Robot Reg, when we like, they've got a head office in Essex, we still had a very small team. So I don't think I would ever have like a huge team, but I do outsource certain things. And I also absolutely love outsourcing because it gives other people the opportunity to, you know, do their skills. And you know, I love buying from small businesses as well. So it all works well for me. I have a mailing list of inquiries that haven't converted. Would you follow up by email or by call? If you have got the permission to call them, I would absolutely call them. Or tell you what works beautifully, Rochelle, and that is text message marketing. So email marketing, 30% open rate. Text message marketing, 99% open rate. Those figures are insane. If you've got people's mobile numbers, it depends what you sell. Like if I was selling into schools, I would call them. If I've got people's mobile numbers who are like mums, I would text them. We used to text people all the time with Phonics. It worked beautifully. Carol, are there any books or resources you would recommend to improve our messaging apart from practicing? Oh gosh, off the top of my head, I don't know if there is. One book I would, it's sort of not related to messaging, but it sort of is. But one book I would absolutely recommend if you haven't read it is The One Thing. Have you read that book? The One Thing. It's really good. And it's actually not about messaging, but I think everything in there could apply to messaging. But yeah, practicing as well. And also, Carol, just like getting a load of stuff out there and seeing what works. You know, so many people are like, oh, I put a reel out and then like half an hour in, I deleted it because I just thought, oh my gosh, no, it's too embarrassing. Can't do it. I'm like, now that's just such a waste of time and energy and effort. You know, we could have done something if we'd have put it out there. I put stuff out there all the time that doesn't land that well. And then sometimes you'll do something and think, oh God, that's a bit dodgy, a bit last minute, put it out there and it flies. So you just don't know. So I also think like the only way to get better at messaging is just by keeping on putting stuff out there. I now don't have a mailing list as I shut my website. How do I go about getting one? I'm selling on Etsy. So I would just sign up to like an email provider like MailerLite or ActiveCampaign or something like that and set up a mailing list. Do you not have access to that mailing list anymore? Because that's a massive shame that you don't have. Do you still have those emails? Because if you do, I would absolutely just upload them into a new email system. And here I am talking about tech like I've got a clue. But then I would have like a freebie, maybe like 10% off for you, Lottie, 10% off your first order if you sign up to the mailing list. And then it could knock off a nurture sequence where you sell to them and then they're on your email list and you can sell to them time and time again. Is there a particular sort of person or business you'd recommend for your mastermind? I'm quite limited on time with having a toddler and worried I wouldn't be able to do everything in the time I have available. There isn't a sort of person that I would recommend. I would just recommend that your business is at a certain level. So you need to be making sales and you need to sort of have a vision of where your business is going. Timing wise, I would say you only probably need to commit 2 hours a week to it. So yeah, it's just if you could commit that, but it's such a valid question to ask because I would hate for anybody to come in who didn't have that amount of time to commit to it, because you know, a mastermind, like anything, like this challenge, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And it's exactly the same with any mastermind or course or membership or any community even that you're a part of. Back in the beginning, when I didn't have any budget to do these amazing things that I do now, I just went and put myself in 5 communities. I chose 5 communities where I thought my ideal client was, and I put myself in those communities and I really committed. And now those communities have changed, and I've got to be in some amazing communities and surrounded myself with amazing people who've really pushed me on and pushed me forward. But you're absolutely right, Daisy, you need to have the time to commit to doing that. Can I have the link to the mailing list? Thank you, Audrey.
There was a question much further up from Nikki about your course. Is it live or is it pre-recorded, the 6 weeks?
Yeah, so it's going to be live every single week. So I'm going to be sort of doing it alongside you. It's a very interactive course. So like I say, we're going to be finding those 100 leads and then we're going to be selling to them. So when I did get more leads back in November, everybody absolutely loved it. And they wanted, like, the next bit was like, okay, we got the leads, let's go and sell to them. But then it was December and I had had them the whole month mapped out already. So that's why I've added it into this 6-week course, because I think actually having all of those things in order, we can start with the top of the pipeline, get those leads in, sell to them, follow them up, convert them, and then hopefully within those 6 weeks you will have made loads of sales. That's the plan. Yes, Lindsay, you won a prize. No, I think Lindsay won the 12-month, didn't she?
No.
Was it the 12-month thing?
No, it's the spa trip.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Amazing. There you go. She joined late. Did someone tell you that you'd won? Or did you happen to just arrive? Right, sorry, I'm going back. Yes, you won a prize. Lots to think about and get implementing. Got to go. We'll catch up with day 3 tomorrow. Franchises. They give numbers on there. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's going back to your old question, Rochelle. Franchisers, I would call them and I would text them. I would do anything to get them on a call. Anything at all. Oh, you haven't got their emails. Okay, well, just start as you mean to go on. I would, I think MailerLite is, I'm on Active Campaign, but everybody talks about MailerLite and recommends MailerLite, and Active Campaign is quite expensive. The fees have just gone up and up and up. So I think MailerLite is the one to look at. There you go. Thank you, Leanne. Thanks so much. Awesome. Well, I think I've answered everyone's questions. Oh, I didn't get on with MailerLite, but love ConverterKit. Okay, it might be worth checking them all out. I'm not very good at tech, so you go do the research and hopefully. Is there any way to get the emails for the challenge? Yeah, if you pop me a message with your email in, I'll resend those messages out to you, those emails rather. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Oh, I feel daft, but here goes. I'm a wedding cake designer, but I tend to only make 1 wedding cake a week, with many designs taking more than 40 hours to complete. Wowzers. I do more birthday cakes, but again, these are much more modern and definitely novelty. I'm struggling to see how what I do fits in with your sales course. So Margaret, what I would say is, if you are making enough sales that are giving you that amount of cakes, so the 1 wedding cake a week and the birthday cake, then you don't need my sales course. You don't need to have it because you're making the sales. Brilliant. You're amazing. If you want to grow and scale your business, so let's say you wanted to start selling resources to help other people make cakes, or, do a online course to get mums learning how to make birthday cake, I would take that course because I'm so bad at, but anyway. But if you wanted to do that, then I think the sales course would be valid for you to explore different avenues, but also to get this sales system that works time and time again. If you want to be selling 1 wedding cake a week and you're only selling 1 a month, then yeah, it would be relevant because I can help you to sell those cakes, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I do have people who come into my audience. Like I had one lady who was like a physio, and she came in to do one of my challenges, and she was having like a nervous breakdown. She was like, Charlie, I don't need any more sales. I can't deal with any more sales. I can't deal with the amount. And we made this whole plan of how she was going to grow and get more physios like under her so that she could scale the business. Because I think I was saying it in this group, but when I started, with my theatre school, I had just created a job for myself. I thought I had created a business, but all I had really created was just a job for myself. And actually I wanted and still want to grow and scale businesses to be something much bigger than me. Is it ever possible that a product just isn't sellable, or is there always the sales strategy that's the problem? I think every product is sellable, because even if it was a bit of a dodgy product, you could improve the product. You can always improve the product. So I'm going to say yes, the sales strategy 9 times out of 10 is the problem. I'm a physio that is 100% online and now sells courses and books globally. There you go. There you go. There's always an option. That's what Margaret can do. She can become the online cake baker who teaches you how to make your own cakes. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I have had the most magical 3 days with you. I hope that I get to work with lots of you. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions about my courses or working with me moving forward, just pop me a message. I would be more than happy to answer them. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your evening, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.